Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Daily BizLink. Kathleen Gramzay is back for our Wednesday Wellness series. And today we're continuing the conversation on self-empowered health and specifically talking a little bit more about how to get the upper hand on negative reactions to improve your health and relationships. So Kathleen, thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Always fun to do these together. Last week, we were talking about that the actual physiological time it takes for an emotion is 90 seconds. That's it. And that any extra time that we spend in that loop is literally a choice. Well, it begs the question, right? Why? Why would we stay in an emotion that feels bad? And the answer is habit. So in order to be able to change a habit, there's two things that are necessary. Number one, we have to want to, right? We have to be aware that we have this habit and we want to change it. And second is we have to understand the process of habit. So there is a well-known psychological pattern that's called the habit loop. Many people talk about it. Charles Duhigg talks about it in his book, The Power of Habit. Lots of other people talk about it too. But basically, there's three parts. There is the cue or the trigger, which then sets up and triggers the behavior, the second part, which then we get a reward for the behavior. Now, the more we engage this habit loop, the more we crave it. And social media companies have really taken advantage of this fact because they know that every time we hit that like button, the dopamine hit comes, right? So the next thing you know, all we got to do is that little Pavlov, oh, I hear my notification bell. Oh, let me see how many more likes I have, right? Well, emotions give the body a charge, either positive or negative. Now, the thing is that there's a human bias to the negative. So let's say you were working with you're at work. And your team has a sales goal that you have to meet. And this one colleague that you have a pattern of disagreement with puts out their idea. And you immediately react with judgment and you resist their idea. Now, the reward for the body mind is that it gets that charge of judgment. And it then deepens the pattern of disagreement with this person, this pattern of the two of you. And really these unconscious rewards, right? It's not something we would say, oh, yeah, let me choose that. I want to be this way, right? It's unconscious. So it is not about judging your own judgment. It is about being able to notice it and then say, what do I want to do? Right? What do I want to do to be different? So for example, the biggest human foible we all have in our psyches is the need to be right, is a classic example. So an easier way to change a behavior or a habit is not to go directly at the behavior, but it's to go at the reward. What different reward can I want to receive that I'm going to change my behavior? So for example, in this one, say you decide you want a promotion and you know that by collaborating with this person on your team, not only are you going to help get the goal, but you're also going to increase your leadership skills to be able to move yourself towards your promotion. Now, that new reward of saying, I want a promotion, now gives you the will to then think through the process of how am I going to show up differently with this person? Maybe I'm going to be more open. I'm going to ask more questions. Maybe I am going to treat them more kindly or with more respect, which then change their openness to me and my ideas. And now we come up with a better idea together.
So I hear a good challenge of the week in there. So what would it be, Kathleen?
The good challenge of the week is pick your number one relationship where you have negative emotion reaction that you know it's predictable. You have it all the time. It's like the going story and drama in your life. And pick that one and then ask yourself, what's the cue, right? You know, it's with this person, but what's that emotional cue? What is the unconscious reward of that? And ask yourself, what reward would you rather have with that person? And then what choice will you make to do it differently?
I love this one. Well, Kathleen, thanks so much for putting this out there and giving us some extra food for thought. I think everyone struggles with this from time to time. So as we look to wrap up today's conversation, is there anything else you'd like to leave our audience with?
Have fun letting go of stuff that doesn't serve you and having better ways to be.
Great. Kathleen, thanks again for joining us for today's episode of the Wednesday Wellness.
My pleasure. See you soon.